Hey guys, I'm recording some video questions for you, or I guess answers to questions on video. I have a couple here. Some of them are demonstration based, so I decided to do it sometime when Harrison's not home and I won't bother him. So let's get started. The first one that I had was a demonstration of the foghorn. So this is my favorite exercise in the world. It is based off of really focusing on the larynx, the laryngeal position, keeping it low, keeping the throat open. So just so you know what it sounds like, and then I'll kind of explain how you get there. It's one singular note, and it sounds like you can actually kind of hear, feel, or see my lips shaking. It's kind of common. As you go up, it gets harder. So this is not a polished sound. This isn't supposed to sound like, wow, Christine, what a great voice you have. But it is used for a purpose. So we essentially endeavor to keep the throat an open, hollow tube that the sound comes through. We're retraining the throat to not engage and tighten as we're singing. So oftentimes people come to me and the first thing they say is, it hurts to sing high notes, it's uncomfortable to sing high notes, why can't I sing my high notes how I want them to? Why aren't they as free? And almost always it's because we are adding tension into our higher range to control it. So we have to get rid of that habit and replace it with something different. So we get to this this open sound by kind of following a couple steps. The first one being we take a tall breath and raise the soft palate. So, you know, that kind of yawn sensation as you raise the soft palate. What that's going to do is lower your larynx. If you put your hand here on your throat as you yawn, you'll feel something in your throat lower. That's your larynx. This is like a very quick lesson. This is how I start most of my lessons. So if you've done lessons with me, you'll recognize a lot of this, but I'm going to go through it a lot quicker. If you want to learn more, you can come take lessons with me. But you can feel the larynx lower as you raise your soft palate. So we're going to start there. We're going to feel all these muscles in your throat kind of open, flare out. It's going to feel very relaxed. And then we're going to close around an ooh shape. So this isn't going to be an ooh, like a closed, flat ooh. This is going to be hollow. Think kind of like an owl hooting. Whoo! That kind of sensation. Again, ignore the sound. Don't worry about, does this sound good? We're going for feeling, not sound. Then we're going to close around an ooh shape. Ooh. You'll notice I have quite a bit of room here in my lips and complete disengagement here in the throat. So, I mean, complete being a relative term. There's a lot of muscles in there. The idea that we can just not have tension anywhere is ridiculous. There's always tension, but we're endeavoring to get rid of the tension that we don't need to sing. So, the way we use this as we go into more advanced singing is we can, one, use it before singing to really open us up. Another question I had on here that I was going to answer is, can you give a quick exercise when you don't have time, a lot of time? This is always the exercise I recommend because it's really simple. You can just go up half steps and really open up the throat and get yourself ready for nice open singing. And so, but the other way that you can use it is you can tag it on to other parts of a song. If you're having a part of a song that you're like, man, I'm not getting the openness I want in this part, you can tag it on. So, for instance, I have a student, and you'll know who you are because I'm sure you'll watch this, who had to sing the word bride on a D5 at the end of a song. So, bride! And it was really hard to get in an open place. Understandably, it's a tough note on a tough word to hold out. So, we tagged the foghorn on the front of it. You can hear the difference in how open that is in comparison to the first one. That's what we're getting towards. Then you can take the foghorn off and try to imagine what happens in that moment of the foghorn. And essentially try to recreate it without the foghorn on there. So, that's kind of the foghorn. That's a very quick look at it. There's a lot more depth into it. We can get into support work. We can get farther into mouth position, into soft palate position, into throat, all that stuff. But that's kind of the quick look at the foghorn. The second question I had was, this may be a bit odd, but I'd love to hear you sing at the bottom and the top of your range. Okay, so I'm going to have to kind of work my way down and work my way up. So, Woo! Can't get as low as usual today. Woo! Okay, I can get down to a D3 consistently. Usually, D3, C3 is my lowest note. Now, that's not a note I'd want to use day to day. And E3 is kind of the bottom of where I feel like I could do that in a show and feel comfortable. That's the kind of, I'm not that girl. That's that note. E3. So, it's a really low note. C3 isn't really used for females, so I don't feel bad about it. But C3 is the bottom of my, like, sometimes range. D3 is the bottom of my, like, pretty much every day, but I wouldn't want to use this really in, like, a show. E3 is the bottom of my, like, thumbs up, let's use this in a show note. So, yeah. High range. I haven't not gone up here in a while, so I don't really know what's going to come out. Can we get another one? I'm not sure. You'll notice, if you're wondering what I'm doing every time I kind of stop and relax, it's that as I'm getting up higher, I can kind of feel the starts of tension going in, because I haven't really done a lot of exercises today to open up. So I'm relaxing down at the nice and I can feel that there's a hold in my voice up this high. So I'm letting go of some of the tension, trying to get kind of an open sound again before I keep going up higher, so that I don't kind of get myself in trouble. Sorry, Chewy's scratching at something over there. So, let's see if we can get up to the high D. Not bad. That's a D6. We'll stop there. So, D6 is kind of the end of my, every day I feel like I could do that, no problem. An E6 is the top of my, some days I can feel really great about that, some days I feel like, maybe not today. So, D6 today. That's my range. My belt range, I guess, is... It's weird to do this off of a song. I'm used to doing this in a song like, get out and stay out, or, It's weird to do it in exercises, but kind of a G or an A is the high of my end of my high belt. It's really a mixed sound, but I call it high belt. So, there's my range. That's my voice. Next question I had was, can you show the proper way to breathe? Chewy? Chewy. Hey, don't chew in boxes. Chewy. We named him something that he does a lot. Can you show the proper way to breathe while singing, and if it changes while belting, and a few tricks to release tension in your jaw and release strain? Whoo! That's a lot. Okay, so the tension release, look at the foghorn that I did before. Tension release in your jaw. Try putting your fingers right here. Chewy, don't do that. 1 second. Chewy, hey, come on. Come on, let's go. Okay, so, tension release in the jaw. Put your fingers right here, and when you're singing, let's say I'm singing like on my own. Without him, the world will go on turning. The world is full of happiness that I have never known. Yes, it sounds weird, but what we're endeavoring to do there is release the tension in the jaw and not let ourselves hold here. So when these fingers are here, your jaw has to be released. Ideally, your teeth are not going to close around your fingers. So you're retraining your jaw to not sit kind of closed like this. So that's a trick you can try. The other question was what? Proper way to breathe while singing. Well, that's a really, really complex answer. Or, question and answer. I mean, I guess I would think about, broadly, I would think about kind of expanding low as you sing, so not kind of squeezing up to breathe, but instead kind of imagining your abdomen kind of expanding outwards and fighting the urge to kind of squeeze back in as you're singing. I mean, breathing is going to be the same whether you're belting or doing what, it's all the same. There's no like, this is your belt breathing. That doesn't work like that. But, I mean, it's so complex. Immediately I think of like abdominal support, resisting the urge to squeeze in the abdomen, leaning out in the diaphragm as you're singing, tall breath, soft palate raising. I mean, there's just a lot to it. So I can't really give you a really concrete, quick answer. That's a like months of lessons answer, proper breathing. But start with resisting the urge to squeeze in as you breathe and instead kind of breathing outwards. Start there. What is the most important thing you've learned in the industry? I think the most important thing I've learned is that there's not a single path. You will see other people's journeys and not understand their path and often get jealous of them. But you don't know what their path was, and it doesn't matter what their path was because yours is different. People look at you and are jealous of your path. So there's not one way to do anything. There's not one way to get anywhere. And anybody who says there is insane. Because it's just something that may have worked for someone else may not work for you. You know, something that people always ask me, how do I do what you do? How do I get to teach voice lessons from home all the time? And I'm like, well, I mean, I can tell you how I got here. The chances of it working the same way, yes, are slim to none. You know, it's just everyone's different. Can you also do this? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know you, and I don't know what your journey is, but potentially. So, I mean, it's just like the journey is always different, and so don't get stressed out if you see other people succeeding in ways that you're not and thinking like, oh my gosh, I can't succeed. Don't worry about it. And I guess I'm going to put a second thing on there. My second thing is that you have no idea what goes into casting, ever. You know what I mean? And there's no reason to speculate about what goes into casting. It's just not worth it. Why stress about it when you're never going to know? It's not going to serve you. You're not going to be happier once you figure out why they didn't like you, you know? And it's just, there's so much. There's so much that goes into it. Just don't even go there. So all you can do is bring yourself to the table, and if you're right for the role, you'll get it. If not, you just move on. You just keep going and don't worry about why I didn't get it. It's not worth it. So that's kind of the two things that come to mind. The next one is, where is it? I lost it. So many questions. Should someone gear their professional auditions more towards the roles and shows they are interested in, or the ones that fit their type well? What have you done personally? Well, so I think what's important is knowing yourself where you fit in the grand scheme of type. Now, that doesn't mean put yourself in a box, but if I'm going into audition for a season and they're doing Gypsy, and I really want Mama Rose. It doesn't matter that I really want Mama Rose. I'm not going to get Mama Rose. That's not my type. That's not my age group. I'm not in that zone. I can't, it doesn't matter how much I want it. It would be unwise to gear my audition towards that. But now let's say I'm auditioning for Les Mis. I look like Cosette, but I could kind of sing either role. And so I have to choose one or the other. We all know there aren't going to be any songs out there that showcase like, oh, you could play Eponine and Cosette. You know, there's not going to be the first half's belting and then the second half I hit a high C. And if there is, that would probably not be a good audition song anyways. But at that point, you would kind of have to decide for yourself where does my type fit best? Where do I think I can kind of showcase myself best? And what do I think is the most realistic? You know? So, I mean, if I also think about my body type, I'm really tall. I'm like almost 5'9". And I look way taller because my legs are like so long. So, Cosette, even though I look like her, it could be a height issue. So, I mean, it's tough. There's no one right or wrong answer. But I think it's kind of a combination. You've got to be honest with yourself about your type, but you also have to think about what you want to bill yourself as, what you want to, I was going to say sell yourself as, but that sounds really bad. But you know what I mean? How you want to present yourself. Because you know that everything from how you dress to what you sing puts forth a different kind of vision of you. So you want to create the optimal type to bring forth, if that makes sense. So both is the answer. And that goes along with the whole just like, rather than trying to be what they want, just be you. It kind of ties into that. I think this is the last question. Could you demonstrate a quick vocal warm-up, or one could do if you're out of time? Oh, the foghorn. I wanted to just say the foghorn for that, because that it's going to open yourself up to a really nice, relaxed place. And if I can only do one thing, that's what I would do. That is just kind of my thought on that. So I think those are all of them. I hope I didn't miss any, but I hope that this was helpful. If you have any other video questions you'd like me to answer over video, something you'd like me to demonstrate, something you just think might be too hard to answer in just typing because of the complexity of the answer, or you just want to hear me ramble for a long time, you know, or you're just like, I just want to hear her talk about this. I don't know. You can send me the question with, just put video question before it so that I know not to answer it over Tumblr. I'll answer it over video. And maybe in the next couple weeks, I'll answer another one. So, thanks for watching. Chewy says goodbye. Yes, right? My little menace. He's such a cutie pie. So, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.